Hi everyone and welcome, and sorry it was such a glitchy night, but Facebook wouldn't cooperate with me, or at least not on my phone. And then when I figured I'd have to postpone till tomorrow morning, suddenly it worked. So here I am, and hopefully a few of you are here with me. And if not, I'm sure you'll catch the Facebook Live. So our Facebook Live, the replay, sorry about that. I'm feeling a little rattled, but we'll get back on track right away. So tonight, this is the last couple of hours of celebration. It ends at 11:59 tonight. It's always sad when a catalog or an event ends, but then there's always something good to look forward to, right? So we will move on to the next chapter, of course, but I have something I think you're going to enjoy tonight as well. So let's go down to my desk and get started. And I see lots of you hopping on. I'm so glad you didn't give up on me and that you are here with me. It's always interesting. Every once in a while, I think I'm getting the hang of all this technology, and then of course I get humbled right away. So hi everyone, so glad you are here. And just before we get going, this was the card we made last week, and remember, everyone who leaves a comment and shares and that kind of thing, and do let me know when you share, because that's the only way I know if you share, and I really do appreciate it. But I put all your names in a random draw, and Karen Gardner, your name was drawn, so this is going to go in the mail to you. So congratulations, Karen. And let's go down to my desk here, and I need to just make sure that I truly am. Oh, there I am. Yay. We're in business. All right. So I mentioned that today is the last day of celebration, or I guess I should say tonight, but there's some things happening tomorrow night or tomorrow morning, or right after midnight even. And I just wanted to share them with you. One of the things is this event called Savings Are in Bloom. And so, I'm sorry, I'm still trying to get that enlarged. There we go. So this is the promotion that's available in March. And what it means is that the little mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, this cute little machine that takes half the width of the big one. Let me just take the plates out and show you. It closes right up like that. So it just cute as a bug in a rug, as some people would say, and then it goes down, and there you go. And a lot of our dies go through here. It's only about 3.5 inches wide, but we also have some embossing folders that go through here. The little tip that I would always say is when you go to put things through, because it's a little narrower, just kind of stagger your plates so that they go in a little bit easier. And that's going to be 20% off. So instead of $82, it will be $65.50. And then these dies, the all squared away, the bundle, so it's the bundles, pardon me, art gallery, beauty of friendship, and all of these gorgeous dies here, they're also going to be on sale. So they'll all be at, I believe it's 20% off. So just watch for that. It's a great sale, and it's a great way also to get your hand on that little Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. All right. Yes, Marilyn, it is a fabulous deal, and it's just so cute and so handy to take. I think it's very appropriate timing because you can take it on holidays with you, and hopefully we can go on holidays this year, right? So there's that. Another thing that's starting tomorrow or right after midnight is Waves of the Ocean. And this is a set of projects right here that, well, let me show you this side. Set of products that are going to be available. Now, the stamp set and the dies, they are going to carry forward in the new annual catalog that's coming actually pretty soon. And then there are these exclusive While Supplies Last right here, and I just have to show them to you. They are so neat. So I just got mine and I've just started to play. I'm actually getting ready. I hope to do a class on it. So there's the stamp set here, and this goes with so many different stamp sets that we have. You could add some of the other seafaring type of stamp sets that we have. I was also thinking that our little whale might look cute in here or something like that. The words are just hit right to home. And then there's this pelican here and the dies. So the dies are here, but I just cut them out for you. Here are the dies. So you can use these waves on their own or layer them up. We've got some birds. So there's this that cuts out the pelican, some great labels that which would be perfect for threading ribbons through, and these clouds. And then you might say, well, what in the world are those little bumpy things? They are actually so you can layer them on the clouds and make the clouds a little more three-dimensional. So they work beautifully that way. And I do have some samples made up, but I'm not going to show them tonight just because I think we'll run out of time, but I will be showing them. So do hang tough on that. The other thing that's available in there while supplies last, you can see I've been dipping into these, are these gorgeous rhinestones. They're in all the different shades of blue and a bit of green in there. So there's that. Then we have this really amazing paper. So I just think I will pump this up a little bit so you can see it better. Now, how they made this paper is they poured paint into a tray and then put the paper down as the paint was mixing. And so one side is a stronger color combination, and then the other side is a little more gentle. So we've got all of this, looks like glaciers and the North Pole and all kinds of things. And then there's this here. Don't you just love the swirls? I just love how it's so different like that too. And I have a neat technique that I am going to share you that would look perfect on here. So where did I put it? Well, no. Well, do you want to see it? I will just bring it in. Just a second. I'm being a little random abstract, but I used this technique on the marble paper and I added this gold. So this is something I'm going to be sharing, and I think it would look gorgeous on this. So just one of these days I'll be sharing that technique with you. So here's another set of it, and there we go there, the corals, ooh, and then we've got this, and some of this reminds me of what, a lava lamp or something like that. And then this like that. So that is the paper, but hang on. That's not the only thing. Then there's foil paper. Now, I'm sorry, there is going to be all kinds of glare and on this paper, but there's a gorgeous coastal cabana color, Pacific Point, and silver, and you get 2 of each. And I know that's hard on the eyes. I'll get it right out of the way here. So gorgeous stuff coming. I've got some things, so you're going to see more about that coming down the road. But right now I am going to bring in some things from the New Horizons suite. Now, the New Horizons suite is in the mini catalog on page 42, 43, and it has all kinds of things like this stamp set and the dies, this great ribbon, these, I love these, like pebbles, and then this designer paper. And a lot of you are saying, this designer paper is so gorgeous, I just can't cut into it. Well, we're going to learn how to cut into it tonight. That's my goal for you. So let's lower the camera down a little bit. Here again, bring the lights back in so we don't have quite so many shadows, and let's get going. So just a little reminder, I've shown the papers before, but just to show you, this is what they did for these papers is they did watercoloring, the wet watercolor paper, and then just put the paint down, and they ended up with these gorgeous papers, and they're 6x6, and they're frameable on their own, I think. And then they just work so well with other things. So let me just continue flipping here. So there we go, like that. So that's the papers. And then we have the dies and the stamp set. So here's the stamp set. Some great, great words. Thinking of you, thanks for everything, relax and enjoy your day. Here's one, breathe. Right now, with everything going on, sometimes we just need to be reminded to breathe and relax a little bit, don't we? And then there's this great die set. So this is what the dies look like. Now, this brings in so many different possibilities. Give me a picket fence, and that's wonderful. We love the mountains. Look at how this would layer on top of that. And then we've got this as well. And this, I've seen this used, as I've mentioned before, in a golf cart. And this was the green. And then you put the pole in there. I just finished a housewarming card using this, and there's some trees and grasses and this. So lots of fun there. Then we've got the pebbles that come in the 3 different colors, and there's different shapes there. So they really add to a card. And then we have the ribbon. So you get a combo pack. It's not quite as much yardage, and often we don't need the full 10 yards. So these come in 5-yard rolls, but you get the 2 colors. So that, and they look beautiful with the paper. So it gives us all kinds of possibilities. So let's bring in one of the pieces of paper. So I wanted to just share that it is okay to cut the paper. Whoops, I meant to show you something else. I'm a little off kilter tonight. So, but anyway, let's bring in this piece of paper. So I took this piece of paper, and I saw this idea done by another demonstrator, and I cut it in half at 3 inches here, and I cut it in half at 3 inches here. So I ended up with 1, 2, 3, 4 squares, 3 inches each. And then I went and I combined it with a stamp set, and I made 1, 2, so there's the bottom, 3, 4 cards. I did not waste one speck of that designer paper. All of it was put into that. I just matted them on a background and used stamp set to go here. This was an easy way to create a whole set of cards, and you could do this with any of the papers in this bundle. You could also put it on colored cardstock if you wanted instead of the white, but the white just made it even simpler. And so that's just one quick way of using it. You could cut it down a smidge and make your 3x3 cards. So here it is here. So this is the same paper. Put it on the 3x3 card, your picket fence with a few little pebbles and stamping right on the designer paper. And then of course I had to do the little 3x3 card envelope as well. So don't be afraid to cut this paper. This paper not only is it great, once you get cutting into it, do you feel braver? But even your scraps, even the tiniest scrap can be used, so you're not going to waste any. And which I think some of you are a little concerned about, but don't be, because you can use pretty much every scrap, as you saw when I used it on the tulip cards. So now let's go back up to where I was here, and this is a 6x6 piece, and I have cut this at, where did I cut it? I cut it at 3 3/4, and I am going to use this piece here, 3 3/4. Right now it's at 6, and I'm going to use this, and I'm going to show you afterwards how to use that. So let's look at this. And then my first step was which color of cardstock should I mount it on? Should I mount it on Blackberry Bliss, or should I mount it on Misty Moonlight? Now, I am going to go ahead with what I chose, but while I'm getting set up, I'd like to know what you would choose. Would you choose to mount this on Misty Moonlight, or would you choose to mount it on Blackberry Bliss? And I do this often when I'm creating, is I get some of the coordinating cardstock and I just kind of go back and forth, back and forth. So while you're deciding that, I am going to bring in my card base, which is going to be basic white, and it is 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. Here we go, right here, like that. Oh, it looks like it's kind of right down the middle as to what you would choose. Well, I decided that I would choose Blackberry Bliss this time, but as you can see, either would look well, or would look good, pardon me. So this is just 1/4 inch smaller, so it's 4 by 5 1/4. And then I'm going to put this on. Now, the reason I didn't cut it yet is I wanted to decide, just did I want to cut off the top or cut off the bottom? And my goal was I didn't want this line exactly in the middle. I wanted it a little off center. It just pleases the eye a little bit, but I think we could likely just cut it off, do it at the 5-inch mark there. So again, I'm just making it, for those of you who hate when I do 1/8, I'm sticking with 1/4. So we'll cut that off at the 5-inch mark. And we'll put that down here. And I'm going to show, now remember there's this on this side. I can show you afterwards, if I remember, where that's going to go. So now we've got this. Now already, when we put this onto here, and this onto here, you've already got the basis of a good card, and you could stamp it and you could be good to go, right? We're going to dress it up a little bit just because it's kind of fun to do that. So let's work on this, but we're not going to get too carried away. So we're going to add some grass. So I'm going to add the grass. Where's my grass? Here it is. And I could have used, I've decided to go for a bit of the silhouette type of look, but I thought, well, instead of using black, I'm going to use Blackberry Bliss. I could have used black, it would have looked stunning that way too, but I'm going to go with Blackberry Bliss, and I'm going to put some grasses on. So this grass stamp is from the stamp set, and let's see here. Actually, now that I think of this, I kind of wanted to go off the top. I wanted to lower this, but that's all right. When I did my sample, I did it with a different piece, but we're just going to, there we go. Doesn't that look neat already? Just by adding that stamp right there. Now we're going to bring in the birds. And I always have to look at this stamp to see which way is right way up, because some of them have their wings up, some have the wings down. And I'm going to just put them there. And yeah, I think that's the stamping that I'm going to do on here. Now I'm going to bring in some scrap white. I'm going to close this up. And I'm going to bring in the stamp that kind of looks like wood. All right, I'm going to bring in some crumb cake. And ink that up. And I'm going to stamp it a couple of times. And you'll see where I'm going with this in a minute. And it doesn't matter to me if I overlap or whatever. Just, I wanted some wood grain there. And there we go. So we've got that. Now what I would do is I would bring in, where did I throw them? I've been putting stuff everywhere. Now I would bring in the fence dies, and I would cut out 2 fences, which I've already done. And by the way, these dies would fit in that little mini cut and emboss machine. Every one of these would fit in. So just as a little hint. So I've already cut them out. And here they are right here. And I'm going to now bring in, so what I've done is made my fences look like wood, right? Then I'm going to just add some sponging around the edges just to make them look just a little more rustic maybe. Because if they're down by the water, they're not likely pristine white, at least not where I'm at, right? Now I could also run these through an embossing folder. The timber embossing folder would add that timber look to them. So that would be another option too. But we're going to just do it, keep it a little simpler, but that would be a way to step it up. And then we're going to bring in our bone folder and just gently add a little curve like that. And let's move this out of the way for a moment. And we're going to build our little scene. And I might, do I want both fences? Or do I want just the bigger fence? Oh yeah, I think I want just that one. I've got this for another project. So how am I going to fasten that on? Well, I kind of still want to have that dimension that I gave to it. So I'm going to bring in my mini dimensionals. Where did I put my scissors? And cut them in half, which I should have done when they were still on the sheet and my scissors wouldn't get sticky. And I'm going to put them right here just to give a little bit of dimension. Oh, here's another one that's already cut in half. There we go. And then I will put some adhesive on the edges like that. Take the backings off. And position it just wherever. So I'm just going to hold it there for a minute, and those dimensionals in the middle will help to keep that shape, even if it goes through the mail. So let's bring our card back. So we're going to put this here. I think I have room for the words down here. Now each time I do this card, and I've done it a few times, I end up doing it slightly differently. So this time I'm going to put the words down here. I'm going to use Blackberry Bliss. Relax, enjoy your day. And I'm going to stamp right on here. Oh, perfect. There we go. So there's my stamping. I am going to add the pebbles, but once I get it all put together. So we're going to, oh, this side is gorgeous too. Can you see this on some difference? Yeah. I have gone through a whole package of this paper and I'm on my second package. How many of you have this package of paper already, or it's on your wish list? It is just amazing. And if you want to, you can always run it through the Timeless Texture embossing folder, and it looks like watercolor paper even more. Oh, it's making me happy. And it's a good thing after all the problems we had at the beginning here. All right, and here we go. We will put it on the card front, just like that. And we'll bring those pebbles in wherever I put them. Here they are. Let's see, we'll put a dark gray one right here and a lighter gray one right. Oh, we'll put one there. And we have to do it in threes, right? So let's add another one here. There we go. No, I don't want it to be so much in a line. I want it. There we go. We're going to go like that. And there is basically our card. Isn't that fun? Now, what you could do, if I hadn't had a spot here to put this here, I could have stamped this and put it on some paper. And put it, just put it like that. I could cut those words apart, that kind of thing. Now, what about this scrap that we cut off the bottom? Well, what I would do is cut some Blackberry Bliss and layer it on here and put that there, and then the inside would match. What about this piece that we cut off, the other piece that we cut off? It is just over 2 inches. Well, this is the same width. It's a different piece of the paper, but this is what I made with a piece that is this wide. I cut it down a little bit. You can see I texturized the bottom of that paper like that. So that's how you can use the other piece. And again, the parts you cut off, you can use inside. I didn't do it on that one, but I've done it on some. So you can use every scrap. It is one designer paper that for sure I would not throw any piece of it away. It is just too pretty, but it certainly is paper that you need to cut into because it is so much fun. Now, I have a few more samples. I showed you those other few samples at the beginning. Just before I show you the samples, I wanted to show you how some of the dies work. So you've got this mountain die here, and then you've got another die that cuts out this shape like that. So when you put it over top of the mountain, you get that. So I've done a few of them like tone on tone here. White on the misty moonlight here. So there's those ones. So this is the gold foil on top of the brushed gold, the rose. There's the rose gold and the brushed in a package in the annual catalog. So you can have some fun with that. So these mountains look gorgeous. So for example, if you had this, can you imagine if you put some mountains on that? Gorgeous, gorgeous stuff. Now, this paper, let me just I'll bring in this sheet because it's on top here. You can bring in other stamp sets and other dies and work with this paper. So for example, look at this little bicycle. Wouldn't that look great on there? Or we could bring in the tulips like that. Or we could have the windmill behind the tulips like that. So there you can use other stamps on here. For example, that bear stamp, the what's that? The meadows, the black silhouette with the I forgot. Anyway, almost any stamp set works with these. Looks just fabulous. And I have a few more samples. Let me just bring them in. So just a reminder, here's how I use the paper on the tulips, like that. So there's that one. This one I have shown you before, and it is likely my most pinned card on Pinterest. This one I think has been pinned over 9,000 times. I can't remember. But you have to remember, you don't have to use the whole sheet. Here I cut just a circle of the paper out and added some things here and made that card. This one was shown to us on stage. I mentioned that I was making a housewarming card or a new home card. So this is the one I made. And I'm really pleased with how it turned out. So I just used a rectangle of the designer paper and the die, stamped a bird, and then layered some paper. And that's how that one turned out, like that. Here is another one. So this one is like using a tag on top of the card. and stamping the background just by repeating the words. I love those pebbles. So there's that. And that same type of tag idea was used here. And the paper's wrapped around a mini paper pumpkin box. Here's some of the ribbon. And there it is like that. And then, well, I had to show one with mountains, right? So here's one with the mountains. And then this swirl, I decided to stamp on that. And then I had to do an envelope, even though the design's kind of going sideways. It just worked out perfectly. And then last but not least, I took one of our little acetate boxes. That's, I think, 3 1/8 by 3 1/8, or 3 by 3 cards fit in here. And I made a little liner at the back with this paper, and then put a clear block in and decorated it for a gift for somebody who loves to stamp. So those are some ideas to get your brain going, and to get your paper cutter cutting into that gorgeous paper. And just be brave, because you can't go wrong. Every piece of it is absolutely beautiful. So while we're on this, remember, Paper Pumpkin this month. You have to book yours by March, the 10th, is also using this New Horizons. It coordinates with this set, so it uses the same types of pictures and that kind of thing. So if you love this set and you don't want to invest in this, I would suggest you invest in this month's Paper Pumpkin Beyond the Horizon. So just as a heads up about that. So I hope you're going to have some fun. I hope you make some things with these products. And if you do, I hope that you share them here and share pictures of them, because it inspires us. So once again, here is the card we made tonight. And relax and enjoy your day. Have fun. Bye-bye.